What if I told you that your life is not just about you? That every breath you take carries the weight of generations, unfinished dreams, broken blueprints, silent hopes. You're not just here to survive. You're here to continue what they couldn't finish. Legacy isn't money or memory, it's momentum. The forward pull of every plan that stopped short, every voice that went unheard, and now it's in your hands. Your father might have sketched a vision of building something his own, but when risk knocked at the door, he backed away. Your mother may have felt a fire to impact the world, but the weight of responsibility made her choose the safe road instead. Your grandparents, with all their hopes and blueprints, may have lived and died with so much still trapped inside them. They weren't failures, they were human. They did their best with what they had. But that doesn't mean the flame they carried has to die with them. You are the living continuation of everything they began. You stand not on ashes, but on a foundation, raw, imperfect, real. A foundation made of their lessons, their regrets, their resilience. You inherited more than genetics. You inherited wisdom carved out of struggle, maps drawn in trial and error. You see where they slipped. You know the cost of hesitation because you've witnessed it in their stories, in their eyes. That doesn't make them weak. It makes you prepared. Every time you feel like surrendering, like backing down from the fight, remember this. You carry within you not just your own ambition, but the echoes of every dream that never reached daylight. You're the vessel of their what-ifs, the extension of their unfinished chapters. This isn't dead weight, it's combustible fuel. It's the spark in your chest when the world says no, and you decide to answer yes anyway. Their failures aren't tombstones, they're trail markers. Their fears aren't shackles, they're warnings carved in stone telling you where not to step. Their broken dreams aren't curses, they're blueprints. Each scar they bore is a lesson you didn't have to learn the hard way. Each tear they shed was a seed watered in hope that someone, you, would rise and do more. And then comes the voice of the world, the chorus of mediocrity. Know your place. Your bloodline never climbed high. Why should you? That voice isn't truth. It's a system whispering in your ear, hoping you'll believe its lie. The system doesn't want outliers. It doesn't reward the one who breaks the mold. It rewards obedience. It honors predictability. And it fears people like you, people who ask questions, who disrupt the order, who dare to dream with action behind it. But here's your truth. You don't owe obedience to the limits placed on your family tree. You don't have to repeat their cycles. You are not the product of their ceiling. You are the builder of the next floor. You're not trapped in their past. You are the doorway into a future they couldn't reach but desperately longed for. When you step beyond where they stopped, you are not dishonoring them. You are completing them. You are turning their attempts into legacy, their hardship into heritage, their sacrifices into stepping stones. Their suffering finds purpose in your courage. Their silence finds a voice in your movement. Their pain finds healing in your growth. But don't sugarcoat it. This path isn't romantic. It's raw. It's not paved in gold. It's jagged and steep. The same storms that broke them will try to break you too. And there are new ones now. Stronger winds, harsher critics, higher stakes. The world has changed, but it hasn't softened. The game has evolved, but not in your favor. The rules weren't written for your victory, and yet you know this. You've seen behind the curtain. You understand the game is fixed, and this truth, instead of crushing you, can awaken you. Because once you know that fairness won't be handed to you, you stop waiting for rescue. You stop begging for a break. You become the break. You become the justice. You become the one who creates opportunity from opposition. The system may be ruthless, but so are you. Ruthless with your hope, with your grit, with your refusal to let history define you. You're not playing by their script anymore. You're writing your own. And that, right there, that's the beginning of legacy. Not inherited, but built. Your strength doesn't lie in flawlessly avoiding the mistakes others made. It lies in your courage to make your own, fully, deliberately, and with open eyes. It lies in your refusal to be paralyzed by fear. Others stopped not because they lacked potential, but because they couldn't endure the sting of failure. They gave up at the edge of discomfort. You, on the other hand, will win precisely because you're willing to walk through failure, not once, not twice, but over and over, until you find the narrow opening that leads forward, until you carve your path with scraped hands and stubborn persistence. Every rejection you face, each no, each unanswered message, each closed door, isn't a roadblock meant to stop you. It's a gate, designed to open only for the ones who are serious enough to knock again, and again, and again. These rejections aren't denials of your worth. They're the world's way of asking, how badly do you want it? Are you just interested, or are you committed? They separate the curious from the relentless, the hopeful from the determined. If you stop after the first no, if you walk away when your path becomes unclear, then your dream was a fantasy, beautiful, but weightless. But if you continue pressing forward after the 10th, the 50th, the 100th no, then your dream has transformed. It's no longer an option, it's a calling. It becomes your mission, not your wish. The real difference between people who dream and people who achieve is rarely about who's more talented, who's luckier, or who had more help. It's about who's willing to endure the silence, the resistance, and the loneliness, and still keep moving forward. Along the way, you'll meet people who've done less than you, but will feel entitled to teach you about what's possible. Some will never have risked anything, yet will still critique your boldness. Others will mask their insecurity as wisdom, advising you to play it safe, to lower your expectations, to be realistic. They'll offer reasons, statistics, and cautionary tales, not to protect you, but to justify their own hesitation. Let them talk. Let them analyze and advise from the safety of the sidelines. But you don't need to defend your path to people who never dared to walk one of their own. Their view is limited by the valley they stand in. Yours is shaped by the heights you're climbing toward. They don't see the horizon you've seen. They haven't felt the fire that drives you. And still, your greatest battle won't be with them. It will be with the voice inside your own mind, the quiet, persistent whisper that questions everything. The one that asks, what if they're right? What if you're not enough? What if the struggle isn't worth it? That voice won't shout. It will murmur in moments of fatigue. It will echo in the dark corners of your mind when you lie awake at 3 a.m., haunted by unfinished plans and unmet expectations. It will grow louder after every failure, feeding off your vulnerability, wrapping itself in the language of reason and self-protection. But make no mistake, that voice isn't logic. It isn't wisdom. It's fear, dressed in the disguise of practicality. Fear loves to sound like caution. It wants to be mistaken for maturity. But fear, when left in control, builds walls instead of bridges. It holds you back from the life you're capable of living. It doesn't guide you. It cages you. Every person who ever transcended mediocrity, every leader who ever shifted history, every artist who ever painted a new vision, they all had people around them who said, "This can't be done." And they did it anyway. They refused to let someone else's limited sight become their standard of belief. You are not bound by the ceilings others have accepted. Their limits aren't your destiny. Their fears don't define your future. Their hesitation isn't your inheritance. You owe them no loyalty when it comes to how far you can go. You can learn from their journey, but you are not required to repeat it. Their conclusions are not your truth. Begin moving like someone who already knows the outcome. Not because it's guaranteed, but because your mindset is your momentum. Walk, talk, and act like someone who's already seen the finish line in their spirit. Certainty creates motion. Doubt breeds paralysis. When you believe success is coming, your actions reflect that belief. You take risks. You pursue relentlessly. You stop making excuses and start making progress. Don't wait for the planets to align. Don't expect the ideal conditions to come knocking. There is no perfect moment. Only a moment you choose to make perfect by your decision to act. Progress belongs to those who build with what they have, where they are, using what they know. Waiting for certainty kills dreams. Acting with courage grows them. Your success will not arrive as a dramatic event. It won't come like lightning in the sky or a sudden applause echoing through a crowd. It will unfold slowly, almost imperceptibly, like the sunrise, silent but certain. It will be formed in the quiet choices you make when no one is watching. In the moments when your effort feels invisible, unrecognized, unrewarded. In the discipline to work when you're exhausted. In the humility to learn when your ego wants to defend. In the strength to rise when shame tells you to stay down. It will look like showing up on the days when everything inside you wants to disappear. Like keeping your promise to yourself when the world gives you every excuse not to. Like doing the work with no spotlight, no celebration, no guarantee. It will be built in silence. In your late nights, early mornings, and long stretches of doubt where no one claps, but you keep going anyway. Your story will be written in thousands of tiny victories. Not in grand gestures or once-in-a-lifetime breakthroughs, but in small decisions that quietly reshape your future. Days when you resisted giving up, even when quitting would have been easier. Moments when you chose growth over comfort, purpose over pleasure, principle over convenience. Decisions that seemed insignificant at the time, but created a future beyond your imagination. And in time, the results will come. Not all at once, but gradually. Like fruit from a tree you've been watering in faith for years. So keep going, keep building, keep believing. Not because it's easy, it rarely is, but because it's necessary, because what you're doing matters even when it feels invisible, because you are becoming someone unrecognizable to the person you once were, someone stronger, deeper, wiser, someone who doesn't just survive but transforms, and that in itself is a victory. A quiet revolution unfolding inside you. This isn't a heroic struggle of one single day. This is the unglamorous, monotonous labor of years. This is the unseen discipline of becoming, brick by brick, choice by choice, breath by breath. This is the daily overcoming of yourself when no one is watching and no one is applauding. It's the ability to show up when every cell in your body resists. To do the right thing when the wrong thing is easier, faster, more tempting. But one day, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, you'll look back and understand. You didn't just reach your goals. You redefined what's possible. You turned limitations into stepping stones. You expanded the boundaries of belief, not just for yourself, but for everyone watching. You shattered ceilings that generations accepted as permanent. You became proof that the place you started does not dictate the place you finish. And then, in ways they never predicted, their failures will become the foundation of your rise. Their unfinished dreams will breathe again through your endurance. Their sacrifices will gain meaning in the shadow of your perseverance. You will become the answer to prayers they didn't even know how to articulate. You will succeed not despite what they couldn't do. You will succeed because of what they couldn't do. Their limits gave you direction. Their missteps gave you a map. Their longing became your mission. Their silence taught you to speak. Their shadows taught you to carry light. Now go and prove it. Prove that their belief in the impossible was never about truth. It was about fear. Prove that boundaries are not laws of nature, but walls built by doubt and inherited by those too afraid to question them. Prove that you came into this world not to fit, not to bow, not to repeat, but to rebuild, to redefine, to rise. The time for talk is over. The time for action has begun, and you're not just walking into the future, you're creating it, step by step, day by day, becoming everything they said was too much, too hard, too far, but you're here now, so make it count.